What's up, everybody? OGP back with you for another video. Today I'm in Concord, Massachusetts, or very close to it. We're at the Minuteman National Park, where the Revolutionary War started. Where United States gained independence from England, started in this park. And so we're going to take hopefully a pretty in-depth look at the park. I've been here once before years ago, but it was actually in January, so a lot of the park was closed, especially visitor centers and stuff. So we're going to go check all that out and learn a little bit about the park. But again, as always, for me, these videos that I'm showing you is about the experience, what to expect when you get to these parks. Still really recommend everywhere I go, you should go check out. If I recommend it's a place you should go check out, then you should go on your own to check it out. And hopefully this video helps you learn about what to expect when you go there, more than the specific history of the events of like the Revolutionary War. So anyways, also, it is fall in New England, so we get to enjoy the leaves changing colors in the park here. That's going to be really cool to see. Let's go check it all out. Minuteman National Historic Park. It's a big area. We've been here once before, a long time ago. And this is a map of the entire park here. We're actually down here now, like at this visitor center over here. And then we need to explore all the way up here to the Minuteman statue. And somewhere in the middle there is where the shot heard around the world is. Oh, right here, I think, is the bridge. So a lot of exploring to do here. Minuteman National Historic Park. So let's get to it. 700-foot walk down this trail here to the visitor center to find out all about it. And as you see, some of these trees are changing colors already. Some are not. Some won't change. It's just whatever type of trees they are that just don't change. But some of the trees are changing colors already. And we are far enough south in the New England area that we aren't in full color change yet. A little bit further north, up in Vermont and New Hampshire, parts of Maine, they're really changing already. But we're down here in Massachusetts, just starting to get the real change. And all the leaves on the ground. And here's a great look at one of these trees changing colors here. Just gorgeous, especially with some of the trees still being green, and then you've got some really dark orange leaves that are almost red, and then these over here that are yellow. Really cool to see, especially New England this time of year. This was not actually something that we had thought about when we made this trip, or booked it. It was more just about coming to see a few things, and then the bonus was that we get to see some leaves changing colors. We're here now. We have reached the Visitor Center, Minuteman National Historic Park. Let's go inside. The regulars are out, awakening the countryside. Talking about the night that Paul Revere made his ride. And of course he wasn't alone. He wasn't the only one. But he's the name we all recognize, Paul Revere. This is Samuel Prescott and his trusty horse. Oh, here's Paul Revere. Right there. Kind of cool. Little cutouts of them, talking about them. Peter Salem. Ah. Lots of cool stuff to see in here. Prelude to Battle. Oh, look at the cannonballs and the cannons. So here's the gift store. We get a Minuteman National Historic Park jacket, t-shirts, the little passport books. These are cool. If you've never done one of these, if you go to a lot of national parks, you get these books, and then at the different parks they have stamps with like ink stamps where you put your stamp in, keep track of which parks you've been to. A lot of fun to do that type of stuff. We have books here about Paul Revere's ride, Join or Die, the little toy soldiers. Lots of cool stuff in these gift stores here. There's some magnets, postcards, sweatshirts and hats. The Wayside and the Concord authors. This is another house you can visit here in the area. Discover Lexington and Concord, just some of the other historic homes and buildings that are not part of the national park here that you can visit in the area. That's kind of nice that the national park puts that information out, even though it's not affiliated. And I'm looking over here, exploring Minuteman National Park, like that map we saw outside, and I just grabbed a paper map as well, so we're pretty well covered as far as needing to find out where to go. On the way back to the car, I saw this pond over here, and look at how clear the water is, the reflection of the leaves from the trees. Just had to stop by and take a few pictures and admire the beauty of the changing colors of the leaves in New England. And what do you think the odds are? Jason Voorhees is submerged in this water here. We've driven a little bit down the road, parked over near that tour bus there, and we are heading for this area right here. Let's go check it out. This is the spot where Paul Revere was captured during the night of his famous murder. The Midnight Riders. And this is an interesting map where they all started in their rides into Concord to warn everyone the British was coming. We've got Revere's route, William Dawes and Samuel Prescott's route, as well as the red was the British. Dawes, Revere, and Prescott were here on this site at 1:30 a.m. April 19th, 1775. Very cool that they have it memorialized here. Such a famous night, famous ride. And they came down this trail here and kept going that way, and that looks more like the trail would have looked back in the day, being dirt as opposed to what the cars are driving on over there now. Well, now we've driven a few miles down the road and parked the car in this lot across the street, and we're now going to head down this path over here to see basically where the Revolutionary War started. Minuteman National Historical Park, the North Bridge, where the Revolutionary War started, all the way out here from Boston. And we've got troops on each side of the bridge, and the story goes one of the American troops kind of goofed or jumped the gun or something, fired a shot at the British, and then all hell broke loose. And that bridge is just down this trail here. The North Bridge. Over here we've got the grave of British soldiers. Interesting. Let's go take a look. They came 3,000 miles and died to keep the past upon its throne unheard. Beyond the ocean tide, their English mother made her moan. Here, on the 19th of April, 1775, was made the first forcible resistance to British aggression. On the opposite bank stood the American militia. Here stood the invading army, and on this spot the first of the enemy fell in the war of that revolution which gave independence to these United States. In gratitude to God and in the love of freedom, this monument was created in what does that say? Let's get a little closer. 1836 or 86? That looks like 1836. So this monument has been here close to 200 years itself. Now we're really lucky that people 200 years ago recognized the importance of that war and the cost of freedom. They took the effort to make this memorial here. Standing here on the banks of the river on the British side, the Americans were across the way there. This is where the Revolutionary War started. As I'm about to take my first step onto the bridge, which is obviously not original, we have noticed a couple ladies down here painting, and I could think of a lot worse scenery to paint. I can think of a lot better days to be outside painting, as it's kind of cool and breezy, but that's a pretty nice picture right there. On the bridge, looking down the opposite side of the river now. And here on the American side stands this marker by the rude bridge that arched to flood their flag to April's breeze unfurled. Here once embattled, farmers stood and fired the shot heard round the world. From this monument, looking back toward the bridge and across the river where the British would have been standing. And of course, we're talking 250 years ago. Trees are probably quite different. And from here, looking down this way, nice shot of the river over there. And up here, there's some brick you can see. I'm not sure if that's part of it. I believe it is. But there is a visitor center for this national park up in those trees somewhere, which that may very well be part of it. But these people walking over there, coming from that visitor center. And the road goes behind those trees and down that way. You can see a vehicle over there. All of this is part of the national park. And my car is parked way down there. It really is kind of cool knowing the British were over there, and back that way is where the American troops were, standing on this bridge right here. Shot heard around the world, fired over across toward the British troops over there. Pretty insane to think that's where it all started. That's why I'm an American and not English. And well, that concludes our adventure today. And as we make our way back toward our hotel, we get to appreciate the foliage here in the fall in New England as we drive down the highway. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you would hit that thumbs up button, I would appreciate it. And we will see you next time on the next adventure, wherever in the world OGP might wander. You guys have a good one. Take care now.